Level 1. The kid who loved cars. You are 6 years old. Your bedroom floor is no longer a bedroom. It is a highway system. The carpet becomes the countryside. The furniture becomes mountains. The gaps between your toys become roads. You have dozens of small cars lined up, each one with a different purpose. A police car, a truck, a race car, a tiny old classic. But one car is different. The one you always choose. You don't know the brand. You don't know the engine size. You don't know what makes it special. You just know it is. You push it across the floor and create your own engine sounds. The faster cars get louder. The bigger cars sound deeper. Because in your imagination, important things always sound different. Your parents notice your obsession. They see you watching cars on the road. They see you turning around every time an interesting vehicle passes. They see you asking endless questions. How does the engine move? Why do cars have different shapes? How does a car know when to turn? They answer what they can. Sometimes they explain correctly. Sometimes they guess. But you remember all of it. Because when you are a kid, every answer feels like discovering a secret. Then one day you sit in the driver's seat of a real car. You are too small to reach everything. The steering wheel feels huge. The pedals are too far away, but your hands touch the wheel. And for a few seconds, you feel like you are in control of something powerful. You don't know it yet, but this is where your journey starts. Not with a license, not with a car, with fascination. Level 2. The future driver. You are 16. Cars are no longer just toys. Now they represent independence. You start learning everything about them. You watch videos, you read about different models, you compare features, you learn words that sounded complicated. Before, horsepower, torque, transmission, braking distance. You realize driving is not just about pressing pedals. There is a whole system behind it. You learn that good drivers are not the people who never make mistakes. They are the people who understand how to avoid them. You study road signs. You learn traffic rules. You practice recognizing danger before it happens. A person standing near the road is not always a problem, but a person stepping toward the road changes everything. You start seeing the world differently. Before, you only saw where you wanted to go. Now, you notice what could happen. That is the first step toward becoming a real driver. Level 3. The learner. You are 17. Your first driving lesson begins. You sit behind the wheel of a car that has seen hundreds of nervous beginners before you. The seat feels unfamiliar. The mirrors need adjusting. Your hands feel awkward. The instructor tells you one simple thing: relax. But relaxing is harder than it sounds. The first few minutes are not smooth. You press too much. You press too little. You forget what your feet are doing. The car feels like it has a mind of its own. Then you stall. The engine stops. You feel embarrassed. But your instructor has seen it thousands of times. Because every driver has a first mistake. Every experienced driver was once someone who couldn't move the car without shaking. Week by week, things improve. Checking mirrors becomes automatic. Turning becomes natural. Parking slowly becomes less terrifying. You learn that driving is not about controlling a machine. It is about communicating with one. The car responds to you, and you learn how to respond back.
Level 4. The licensed driver. You are 17 years and a few months old. The driving test is finally here. You have practiced the routes. You have repeated the same turns again and again. You have parked in empty spaces until parking feels less like a challenge and more like a routine. But today is different. Because there is someone sitting beside you who is not your instructor. They are not there to help you. They are there to judge if you are ready. The examiner gives simple instructions. Turn left. Follow the road. Park safely. Everything you practiced suddenly feels harder. Not because you forgot. Because now every small action feels important. Your hands feel heavier on the steering wheel. You notice every sound. Every car around you. Every mistake you could make. The first few minutes are uncomfortable. You hesitate at an intersection. A car behind you gets impatient. For a moment, your confidence drops. You start thinking about failing. About having to explain it. About starting all over again. But then you remember something. Driving is about staying calm. So you stop thinking about the result. You focus on the road. You check your mirrors. You make your decisions. And slowly, driving starts feeling natural again. When the test ends, the examiner says the words you have been waiting for. You passed. For a few seconds, you don't even react. Then it hits you. You are officially a driver. You call your family before you even leave the parking lot. Because some achievements are too important to wait.
Level 5. The first car. You are 18. You finally own your first car. It is not the dream car you imagined when you were younger. It might have scratches, it might have old seats, it might make strange noises sometimes, but it is yours, and that changes everything. The first time you drive alone, something feels different. No instructor, no parent, no one sitting beside you. Every decision belongs to you. You drive to places you have already been before, not because you need to go there, because you want the feeling of driving. You find excuses to take small trips. A quick stop at a store, a longer route home, a drive late in the evening. The car starts teaching you things that lessons never could. How to handle bad weather, how to drive when you are tired, how to navigate unfamiliar streets, how to stay calm when you miss a turn. You learn that real driving happens outside the test. The road is unpredictable. People make mistakes, conditions change, and your responsibility grows. You also start understanding your car. A strange sound, a vibration, a warning light. The car is always communicating. You just have to learn how to listen. Level 6. The car enthusiast. You are 23. The first car has taught you everything it could. Now you want something more. You start looking into performance cars, not just transportation. Something with personality. Something that makes every drive more interesting. You buy a car that feels different. More power, better handling, a stronger connection between you and the road. At first, the difference is shocking. The acceleration feels stronger. The steering feels sharper. The car feels more alive. But you quickly discover something important. A better car does not automatically make you a better driver. The machine can give you ability, but skill is something you build. You learn to respect power. You learn that every road has limits. You start enjoying driving for the experience, not just the speed. You find car communities, weekend meets, people who spend hours talking about engines, designs, and modifications. You realize there are millions of people who feel the same way. They don't just own cars, they connect with them. Level 7. The skilled driver. You are 30. You have driven thousands of miles. You have experienced almost everything. Busy city streets, empty highways, long road trips, difficult weather. You have learned from every situation. At this point, your biggest advantage is not your car. It is your awareness. You notice things before they happen. A driver changing lanes without checking. A vehicle moving strangely. A dangerous situation developing ahead. New drivers react. Experienced drivers predict. You stop trying to prove yourself. You don't race random cars. You don't drive aggressively just to impress people. Because you understand something. A great driver is not the person who pushes the limits every second. A great driver is the person who knows where the limits are. You become smoother, more patient, more controlled. And that makes every journey safer. Level 8. The road trip driver. You are 35. Now driving becomes more than daily transportation. It becomes a way to explore. You plan long journeys, different states, different landscapes, different roads. You realize something beautiful about cars. They allow you to disappear for a while. You can wake up in one place and end the day somewhere completely different. The road trip teaches patience. It teaches preparation. You check your fuel, your tires, your route. You pack carefully. But the best moments are usually unexpected. A small town you never planned to visit. A viewpoint on the side of the road. A conversation with someone who loves cars too. The destination matters, but the journey becomes the memory. Level 9. The veteran driver. You are 45. You have owned several cars. Some were practical, some were exciting, some were purchases you made simply because they made you happy. You have collected stories, trips, mistakes, lessons. You understand driving differently now. You know, confidence without skill is dangerous. You know attention is the most important thing you bring behind the wheel. You still love driving. Not every trip, not every boring commute, but the special ones, the empty road, the perfect weather, the moment when everything feels balanced. The car responds, the road opens, and for a few minutes, nothing else matters. Level 10, the full circle. You are 55. You are standing in your garage. Your car is parked in front of you. Maybe it is expensive. Maybe it is old. But you don't look at it as just a vehicle. You see every memory connected to it, every mile, every adventure, every lesson. Then you notice something familiar. A child nearby playing with toy cars, creating roads on the floor, making engine sounds, picking a favorite car. You smile, because you recognize that feeling. The same curiosity you had years ago, the same excitement. You tell them something your parents once told you. The road can take you anywhere. The car is just how you get there, and maybe one day they will understand. Cars were never only about engines. They were never only about speed. They were about freedom, about discovery, about moments you never forget. Because every driver starts with a simple thought, not, how fast can this car go? But, where can this take me? And the road always has an answer.